Get that little Steve. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Finish him.
All right, yo, what is up? What is up, YouTube? Boxing family. It's K right here. I got Mr. Diaz. What is up, brother man?
What's up? How's it going?
How's it going? Yep, everything's good. Uh, yeah,
Sorry,
let's get right to it.
It's been completely nuts. Like it's been so nuts this weekend. I'm literally still catching up on watching all of the fights. Like I saw some of them, but I was a little distracted. But like right now on my screen, I got Smith versus Benjamin from the Jonas versus the Care card playing. But I know what happened basically, and I know enough to talk about it.
Oh yeah, the Benjamin guy. Who's that Benjamin guy?
I don't know, but I had a lot of faith in Dalton Smith, and he's really struggling here. Like it's
Yeah,
terrible.
Dalton. I'm not sold on UK fighters. You know, they don't ever look good once you tweak up at the competition a lot harder on them. But
I mean,
that
shit.
fight, Yeah,
Bentley came over and did his thing though. Again, I mean, we all knew Janabek was a fraud, but he still came over and did his shit.
yeah. Like I wish Bentley he actually had more of more of an American style training system because he could have stopped Janabek, and I actually thought Janabek was about to be stopped, and Bentley said he's he hits just as hard as Janabek, but I think what Bentley failed to do was he just failed to load up on the right shot. But he should have worked that body more. Like Janabek was wide open to get KO to the body. But
But absolutely, where would you like to start?
hmm?
So where would you like to start?
Yeah, let's talk about the Montana Love card if you want to start there.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, how'd you think about the fights on the card?
oh, let me. I know because Montana Love in and of himself is like that shit was fucking crazy. Let me just. I'm pulling up the whole card on Fox so I can make sure it's talking.
Yeah,
So the female fight, that was cool. Khalil Cole did what he normally does. I'm not super high on him quite yet. The Georgian guy, Nicholas, hadn't heard of him before, but he looked pretty decent. He did what he was supposed to do.
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, Williams versus Ford. That was a cool little fight. That was decent. Matisse fucking upset that dude. Christian Tapia got exposed. That was crazy. That was supposed to be
Yeah,
a
I
fight.
thought
Okay.
no, I was just about to add more to that. I thought Tapia blew that fight away, and I thought it was like a draw at best, or it could have been a split decision to either guy. But I'm not mad at Thomas getting the victory because his resume is actually hyper stacked. He fought Pitbull Cruz back in the past, and surprisingly, he lost a majority decision to him. So that makes me think he should have won that fight, and I can see why not a lot of guys really think he's that easy of a fighter to beat because he has a stacked resume, and I used to think he wasn't that good. Like I thought he was garbage, and I'm actually starting to give him more credit now because at this stage of your career, he's not afraid to take on anybody, but he actually showed it out to me against Tapia, which I thought Tapia he was going to decision him. Like I didn't think his power was really going to hurt Thomas, but he was hurting Thomas in several occasions. So I want to say he had the ability to do it, but he just didn't set up his shots properly. So he he just gave up a lot of those middle rounds, and I had it 6-4 Thomas's way, or it could be a couple swing rounds in between that could be a draw.
Yeah, I was surprised. Devin Haney apparently knows him because he knew enough about him to put money on an upset, and he put his betting slips on Instagram. I saw that. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Devin knows boxing. He's so intelligent when it comes to betting, but I just don't see myself doing that too often because I only betted on one fight. I betted on the Jermaine Ortiz and Loma fight, and I actually thought Jermaine won that fight. But if I had won that night, I would have gotten at least 300 something odd dollars, at least close to 400. He was a plus 1,500, if not 2,000. If just off of what the betting odds, not based off of certain standards.
Yeah, I was thinking about betting on that one, but I didn't bet on that one specifically because Jermaine Ortiz came over from Showtime, and I wasn't sure if he was actually signed with Top Rank or not. Like if he had actually signed a deal with Top Rank, then I would probably put money on him winning. But he wasn't signed, so I knew he wasn't gonna war. I mean, I figured he'd beat him, but I chose Loma by decision because just the politics of it. But I thought he lost. I thought Lomachenko lost too. So, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't put any money on it because you know how that bullshit is when you're not actually signed to Top Rank for some reason, all your decisions are always sketch. So
Yeah, that's so messed up because I was talking with some other guys that told me that the same thing. Other fighters that I'm friends with, they tell me Top Rank is the worst. When it comes to getting a decision, Because like, don't you remember some of those top rank cards for like the past couple fight cards, right? Where they're like robbing people on the cards and shit.
I mean, like, I understand a lot of it is perspective, but yeah, it seems that whenever you're not directly signed with them, that there's issues with the call. I mean, shit. Even look at fucking Taylor and Catalan. Andre Ward was on tape saying, "Oh, they're taking a long time with those scorecards, and whenever the scorecards take a long time to come up, there's usually bullshit."
Yeah, I was gonna say, can the judges cheat on the scorecards to try to like, basically like screw up what they're, that they're scoring, so they do it intentionally to try to rob a fighter?
Yeah, they mark them shit in pencil. You can change them at the last minute. Like I said during like I said at the end of the Taylor Catterall fight, you can see judges do racing shit. It's like yeah, if you saw this man get his ass beat, and now you need to change it because the politics don't match the outcome.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Because like, I would I was like wanting to like surf on the internet to find out how to become a judge in boxing, and there's like little to like no sources I could find to like find like the proper connection to become a judge.
Well, um, first, I'm not sure if you have to start out as a referee, but I believe it's probably the most direct path. And then after that, I believe it's the sanctioning body that, like, I think there's an international boxing judges commission, because I know the sanctioning body employ and assign referees. So I know that much. But as far as actually being a judge, I don't know. But it can't be that fucking hard because these motherfuckers, a lot of the time, it's like blatantly scoring with your fucking opinion. Like the shit is nuts. But you know,
Yeah, because there's no marketized system for it. So like, why is it so difficult for you to like find a potential job opening to become a judge in boxing?
the right amount of money got to the right amount of money got to change hands and bullshit like that. But yeah, and the next was surprised the shit out of me. Raymond Ford. Raymond Ford versus Lucas. I picked Raymond Ford by decision, but I thought it was going to be another difficult fight for him. He actually did his thing here. He's made a decent amount of adjustments, and he managed to knock Lucas the fuck out.
Dude, I was shocked about that, but I was like, Sakaria Lucas, he was not like his resume is good. Don't get it twisted, but to be like 38 years old, still fighting, and you still don't look like the same fighter as you used to be. I wasn't surprised that Raymond was gonna hurt him, but I wasn't expecting Raymond to stop him.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't see it coming. I mean, I'm not saying that I didn't expect Ford to make some adjustments, but he went in there and knocked his ass out. That was shocking. I had no idea he was going to mess around and do that. So that was cool to see him get in there and make the necessary adjustments and do what was necessary. I like that. Hopefully he'll, because there was a decision or two that was controversial. People were kind of, talking about him, maybe not certifying him like you'd like, but he came back and did his job. So hopefully we'll see more good things from him. And the Hitchens, I didn't expect to stop it there. I expected a clean UD, but apparently dude just gave up. So that makes sense. I expected Hitchens to smoke that food. But Montana Love, oh
Oh boy.
my god! And you know what? People called me crazy when they were trying to say, "Oh, he's the second coming of AB," and I was like, "No, he's not good." People tried to really argue with me, talking about he's the second coming of Adrian Broner, just because they're both from Ohio. I'm like, dude, this man is not good. He's not skilled. His best win is fucking Baranchik, and he almost got stopped in that fight. He's been dropped by people that we haven't even heard of.
Dude, he almost got stabbed by that Mexican dude, Gabriel Valenzuela.
Right, motherfucker tried to call me a hater, say I didn't know boxing, blah blah blah. Fast forward, this dude is horrible. I'm
Yep.
sorry, Montana Love is horrible. He's not good, and I don't know what y'all plan on doing, or how y'all gonna move him or matchmake him or step him up. But he is not good. Like this is a fucking gimme fight in his hometown where he was supposed to get a highlight reel, and he looked horrible. He looked absolutely horrible. And the only reason why he threw him out of the ring is because he didn't want to fucking lose. He didn't want to take his ass whooping like a man. He was supposed to lose.
Yep.
He was going to get knocked out. He was going to get pressed and he was going to get knocked out. But that's what happens in boxing. And as opposed to doing that or making some necessary adjustments from his dumbass coaches, he decided to throw him out of the ring and get a DQ. I'm just like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm Montana Love is one of those fighters where I'm okay if he retires right now. Just retire. I don't even care. I
Yeah, just get out of boxing. Like I don't
yeah,
like.
go away. Because it's clear that you're not going to survive on the upper echelon, and you have a real issue with fucking losing. Like, don't get me wrong, no one is supposed to lose, but you're supposed to adjust your combat strategy. Don't try to do all types of fuck shit and throw people out of the ring and talk all this bullshit. Like, dude, you were about to get knocked out, just like you almost got knocked out by Baranchik, just like you almost got knocked out by the other guy. You're not good. You have a shitty chin, and you're not defensively responsible. That makes for a bad fucking fighter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like sadly, like I'm probably gonna put him next to Josue Vargas. He's just like our Black American Josue Vargas, honestly. Because like this is like the second fight in a row where you got knocked down by a guy in Steve Spark who's not really that much of a puncher himself. Like, he's just a volume puncher with like decent medium level power. But for you to get dropped by like a guy like him, the second time in a row just shows me that you're not that good. And
And he's too big. He's too big to go down to 130 to 135. At 147, he gets absolutely destroyed. And I'm not even talking about the top five guys. I'm talking about
yeah, I know plenty of guys that will definitely kill him right now.
dudes like Jamal James could come out of nowhere and just beat up Montana Love. Like, yeah, like no, I'm like, bro, you're not good.
Abel Ramos would beat the shit out of him.
Oh, they almost smoked Montana Love.
Abel Ramos will be like, oh, okay, like, you think I'm like easy pickums? Okay, fight me on PBC, and then boom, he just kills him.
No, Abel Ramos can go to the zone. That's no big deal. He'll just lose. Montana Love will just get beat up. That's all. Like nah, because Abel Ramos he lost the majority decision to Ugas. He was pressing Ugas. So
Dude, I actually thought he could have won that fight. I was like thinking Ugas was gonna lose, but like I was just shocked of like those scorecards. I was just like, how how do they have Ugas winning?
well, I thought Ugas did a little bit more work because Ugas has a better jab than.
Yeah,
Abel
true. Like I was just about to say that.
Yeah, but Montana Love doesn't. Montana Love doesn't even he hardly jabs, and then he's wondering yeah, Montana Love hardly jabs. It's not an intelligent jab. He tries to look flashy. And also, one thing that was pissing me off in this fight, he kept talking to his corner. Like he was so fucking confident that he was winning the fight. He just kept talking to his corner. Yeah, don't worry, I see it. Like I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're not good. You're not like he was pissing me off, and I'm like, this is why you almost get knocked out. I don't know who in your camp is gassing you up, thinking you're some kind of superstar, but you are not good. You are not a talented fucking fighter. I'm sorry. Like maybe you look good according to boxing textbooks, but you're not talented. You're not talented. You don't punch hard. Your chin isn't good. There's nothing extraordinary about you. You're not even a good fucking southpaw. I'm just like, God damn,
he's not a deadly southpaw.
I'm like, how the fuck did these dudes even make it? Like, God damn it, like how do these dudes keep getting here? And then what's crazy is that Eddie Hearn is putting on more of a show for his ass than he ever did Devin Haney. I'm like, this motherfucker's getting the national anthems and his own little show in Ohio. I'm like, this dude fucking sucks.
In Ohio, bro. Like, I'm not like honestly, like I don't know if I heard he was there or if Montana Love was there at the Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor fight, but I guarantee you that like almost every single DAZN card that was being put on, there was more talk about Montana Love leading up to his fight with Steve Spark, and ever since he had his previous fight with Gabriel Valenzuela on the Canelo card, like people were like gassing him up to be like this next big thing, and fucking like dumbass Chris Mannix was saying, oh, Montana Love, he could very well beat a top of the he could very well beat some of those top guys at 140. He has like a lot of power. He has great boxing skills, and look at his movement and look at everything. Like, are you guys really trying to gas this guy up to be like the next like ultimate badass? And I think sadly he really does believe in it, because he really thinks that nobody can't mess with him. But it's like, this is like the same Montana Love that didn't run it back with Kenneth Sims, that had a draw with him, and then you get dropped by two non-punchers. So that just tells me what I need to know, like about you, because you're not that good. You're trash.
And I remember dudes were trying to say that he could potentially be a good fight for Devin Haney at 140. I'm like, oh my god, that'll be the most fucking.
Devin Haney will knock him out.
That'd be the most boring UD I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's not even because of Devin Haney. That's because Montana, like, dude, Montana wasn't even fucking jabbing this clown. He wasn't even jabbing this clown. He was just poking out his arm, being like, "All right, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it." I'm like, dude, shut your dumb ass up, man. You're fucking trash. Like, honestly, Adrian Broner probably beat Montana Love right now. Like, real Adrian Broner probably beat his ass at 140.
Brian Norman Jr. would beat the shit out of him.
Oh god, Brian Norman Jr. would knock the fuck out. I don't even know.
Yeah, he'll like.
Brian Norman's at 154.
Really?
Yeah, he's got.
Oh, he got away from 147 now.
I mean, shit. Have you not seen him? He's big as fuck.
Damn, man! Wow, he's a big guy.
Yeah, no, no, he's not. I don't believe he's at 140 anymore. But
Wow, he's big. Congrats on him. Yeah, I love Brian Norman. Like, I wish I could talk with him.
Fight more than his fight, honestly. He talks about how. Oh no, he's at welterweight. I'm sorry, he's not at 140.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't thinking. He said he was fighting a 154. Like, I could have sworn he said he couldn't make 140 anymore. So now he's at welterweight to get a title, and then try to stick there until he moves up to the next division, right?
Yeah. He currently is at welterweight. But yeah. Montana Love is terrible. I personally wouldn't have cared, and honestly, I wouldn't have cared about the referee's decision. I think the referee made the right call. He fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And the reality is he was going to lose anyway. So Montana Love could talk all that shit, but he tossed him out of the ring to get the fight halted because he was taking too many clean hits. I'm not saying that he wanted the fight to be stopped because he was worried about if the fight was stopped on the cut that he would lose the decision because he had lost pretty much every single fucking round up until that point. So he was worried about that. So he wanted the fight to be stopped so he can gather himself. Not stopped as in he get DQ'd, but he just wanted some time to gather himself. And I'm like, you know what, dude, fuck you. Like, I'm glad the ref disqualified his ass because he sucked. And all he was going to end up doing is getting knocked out anyway. Over there talking to his corner, like just treating like I don't know.
I was rooting for Steve Spark to win that fight. I was like, come on, Steve, beat his ass.
Yeah, I don't even know who Spark is, but the fact that he was in a combat situation, taking this person lightly, is exactly why he was in there getting his ass whooped. You're not supposed to take anyone lightly, especially when you're a fucking marginal ass talent like Montana Love. Like I don't know who is in his camp that told him he was good, but it was like, bro, you are marginal. You have a lot to prove in the sport. You are incredibly marginal. Absolutely nothing about what you do is extraordinary. And people, and I don't know, like I said, if he showed some kind of, prodigious ability in doing something, like he was just super fast or super strong or super agile or some shit like that, if he had come out looking like Shakur Stevenson at some point, then okay, yeah, maybe you could laugh in this dude's face and dance on him. But bro, you have shown no special skills whatsoever, and you're over here taking dudes lightly. Like, no, bro, that's no. And you deserve to get knocked out. And really, I really don't even want to see you fight again. I've never been high on you. I've never thought you were going to amount to shit. And now I see that I'm right. So, just go on somewhere. Go ahead and fucking apply to community college or whatever the fuck it is y'all do in Ohio. But stop boxing.
Yeah, he is absolutely garbage. I was just laughing my ass off every single time he got beat up. I was just like, okay, like you're just trash, bro.
Yeah.
But
he has the opportunity to be good by making adjustments, but based on what I'm saying now, he's not serious. He's not serious.
Yeah, he's not serious about boxing.
He's a fucking media boxer. He wants to ride the Eddie Hearn media train like AJ's dumbass.
Yeah, media whore.
Yeah, and then fuck around and get smoked.
Yeah, and like I was talking with Michael Angeletti about poor matchmaking in boxing, and he told me he knew plenty of other fighters that just get linked up with the weakest opposition to look so good in a fight. And I've been to 3 fights already in my life, but some of these fighters that just be on some of these cards where they're just being signed up to get knocked out, like, I don't like to see that no more, because I find that to be like abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand like fighters need to make money, but it's like, still, like, you don't need to sign up to get knocked out by some up and coming young gun. Like it should be proper matchmaking where nobody doesn't hurt each other to the point where they get damaged, right? Like I don't know. But I'm just, yeah, throwing that out there.
I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of the time, it comes down to who is actually available and who actually wants to fight. That's one thing, because you can't have fighters that you're trying to advertise constantly spend lots of time inactive. So I understand that. But Eddie Hearn has a reputation for being a horrific matchmaker. So that doesn't actually, surprise me. No, his matchmaking is absolute dog shit, and a lot of people, and a lot of people will be like, oh, well, no, it's just that his fighters aren't afraid to protect their they're not protecting their oaths, they're taking challenges. I'm like, so let me get this right. When Deontay Wilder wanted Anthony Joshua's scalp and he ducked to fight him Andy Ruiz, you're telling me that at that time you thought Andy Ruiz was more of a fucking threat than Deontay Wilder, a fat pigly motherfucker from Top Rank who had never fought anybody in his life and got decision by Joseph Parker, who's never been that good? You really mean to tell me that that guy was more dangerous than Deontay Wilder? Yeah, no, it's never been about, oh, Eddie Hearn just has these brave fighters. No, he's a shitty fucking matchmaker. He's a shitty fucking matchmaker, and when he's trying to use his media machine to prop up his fighters, he ends up accidentally getting their asses beat.
Yeah, because like what happened with Terry Harper when she got knocked out by like Alicia Baumgartner. Like I was just like,
even Kid Galahad with Kiko Martinez, like that was supposed to be.
Galahad never even came back after that. He just
moved up in weight, I think, or had he not fought.
Really, he moved up to 130 now.
I think he was actually moved up to 130.
Yo, his brother was like hot garbage. I actually thought he lost to that Filipino. Halal Yafai, right?
Yeah.
Or actually,
he moved
no,
up.
Kid Galahad is different from them, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kid Galahad is not a Yafai brother. Yeah, but his
sorry.
Yafai did look shit in his last fight. But no, he went up to 135, fought Max Hughes and fucking lost.
Yeah.
What was that? After when Kid Galahad held the featherweight title, it was that like Kiko Martinez was supposed to be a good title defense, supposed to be a sacrifice. Kiko Martinez got like I don't know how many fucking losses. Yeah. Kiko Martinez had at the time had fucking double-digit losses basically. So he had fucking 10 losses at the time. So he was supposed to be some food. He gets in there, knocks Kid Galahad the fuck out of here, and then what does Eddie Hearn do? Like he has all his people do. He has to move up in weight and fight someone bigger than them, and then he lost too. That's what he did with Cal Brook. He had his dumb ass all the way up to middleweight to fight Triple G for the money, and then got him beat up.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying he's a horrible matchmaker. He's never been good at matchmaker. He only looks at what's good for his pocket. He doesn't give a fuck who he sacrifices along the way. It's just like when he wanted to match people up with Conor Benn on steroids. He doesn't care. He's gonna get people hurt. He tried to get Adrian Broner killed. I'm like, Adrian Broner, a man who hasn't been focused or made weight professionally in years, and you want to put him in there with Roy Benn. Man.
Yeah, man. I'm just sick of Eddie Hearn at this point. Like it's just like DAZN. I wish DAZN like did not do business with Eddie Hearn. Like if they worked with like PBC and they had like a good deal with them, like I would love DAZN, but just Eddie Hearn in the mix of everything, it just doesn't make sense to me because he's not I don't think he's a good businessman when it comes to even developing a contract because the fights that he puts on are not even good fights, and the fighters that I speak with that tell me that they have to wait until the next available card to be active enough, and that's not even guaranteed because DAZN is not really how should I say they're not being active with putting out cards right away, and I think the issue is that wherever they bring you, it's that's basically where you got to be to to be fighting, and it's the issue with that is that depending on the region of where you're going, you don't know where you're going. Um, I'll even use that Mexican card, right? That happened down in Mexico. Um, that was the Mauricio Lara card a couple weeks back, but
That was a good
you know,
ass card.
yeah, that one fighter that I speak with, Rashad Mahdi, the Albanian Bear fighter guy. He told me that when he got to the venue, he got everything set up and everything, and I guess he wasn't like aware of like what he was eating. And on the night of the fight, like he got mad sick out of nowhere, and he wasn't like aware of like what's happening. And then on top of that, when you're fighting at higher elevation, because Mexico is I believe Mexico has higher elevation in that area of like where you fight.
Yeah.
So he told me he was throwing up, he was all sick and shit, and he didn't look that good, in the fight because it's like everything there was like mad sketchy down there. So after he got his fight and he managed to win, he said he's never gonna fight in Mexico ever like again because that shit is like mad shady.
Well, like I said, I mean, I remember when that fight happened. We actually discussed that, and to be honest, I'm not discounting his experience. I'm not saying what happened to him didn't happen to him, but I'm also saying that the particular person that he was fighting, I recall looking at his record, and that was a step up fight. That was a step up fight for him. So I'm not saying that he was fighting at his full potential, but that dude was more skilled than the vast majority of the opponents that he had kept fought. So it makes sense for the struggle factor to go up, despite what actually happened to him. So I mean, hey, if he doesn't want to fight in Mexico anymore, he has to. That's on him. But like I said, that was he should also give himself some credit because that was still a step up fight. That was not a regular opponent. A lot of his opponents had losing records, not a lot of power. That dude had a positive record, only like 2 or 3 losses, and he had mostly knockouts. So he should also give
Yeah,
himself
his
credit.
opponent was tough. Like I liked his opponent, but I just don't see like I think it's really crappy when promoters like set up fights and they don't have like a proper hospitality for the fighters to be how should I say to be managed properly. So therefore, they don't put themselves in a position where they could potentially damage their fighter because it's like you are paying the guys to come all the way out from where they're coming from to fight, but it's like when you really think about it, it's like if you're not giving these guys the proper like necessities to be healthy and be given like the proper like resources for them to make sure that nobody doesn't get screwed over, like that's pretty bad on the promoter's end because that's going to make you look like a scummy person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
so like I said, if that's the situation and he feels that he wasn't properly handled, then hey, all respect to him and don't fight in Mexico again. I mean,
yeah,
outside of the good parts, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of reason to go to Mexico anyway, unless it's like school related or they're there for work. So even though I did hear it's being gentrified, so I don't know, maybe I'll make a pilgrimage or some shit. But or unless you have family living there. But
yeah,
yeah, no. Look, if he doesn't want to do the fights down there anymore, that makes a lot of sense. But like I said, he shouldn't sell himself short and make it seem like, oh, that was just a regular fight he was supposed to walk through. Like, nah, I was a step up. And the thing is also, now that he's saying that, we're gonna have to expect a better version of him once his opponent goes up another level of difficulty. So if he struggles again, then now that he said all that, he's gonna look kind of weird. Like, okay, so you said that at first it was Mexico and you were sick and the elevation and da 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 da. And also that points to like being a world champion. Like, if you in order to get like a world title, you're gonna have to fight all over the world because you're just a contender right now. You're not even like a high level prospect in the division. So
yeah,
maybe his opinion on that'll change. Maybe it won't. But yeah.
yep. Yeah, as far as the other fights that were on the Montana Love card, what you think about Richardson Hitchens' performance?
I thought he did what he was supposed to. I mean, I didn't expect him to get the knockout, but yeah, he did good. He watched dudes. He had very little success. Richardson Hitchens is a very underrated fighter because he was being neglected by the Mayweather camp for so many years. But now that he's free, he signed to the zone specifically for a Montana Love fight, so he can get in there and take Montana Love, take a spot basically. And now the reality is, I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think that Montana Love is going to fight him. I don't. Because one, Montana Love fucking sucks. And two, now the thing is, Montana Love knows he sucks. Like, that camp knows for a fact that he is bad. So they're not going to put him into a position, they're not really going to put him in a position where it's possible that the little hype that they've accumulated is, you know, definitively gone by a decision or a knockout loss. Because you can write out a DQ. Like, Roy Jones' first loss was a fucking disqualification. He'd be like, nobody ever really, like, whooped my ass. But you get in there and get your ass whooped, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm happy for Hitchens because, I like his backstory and, plus he's from New York, so, I gotta support him. But, yeah, man, I'm so happy that he's being active now, and I'm hoping that he could get one more fight in before the year ends. And I say we should see him in a title shot very soon. Like, I don't know with this belt that he got, like, is he going straight after Subriel Matias and Ponce? Because that's going to be the route, then that's going to be a really tough path.
No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that for him. And in fact, after the fight, he called out Liam Perro instead. So he's going to go that route.
Oh, Liam Perro, right? Yeah, Liam Perro.
Yeah, which is smart because, to be honest, I know he's good, but the reality is that he doesn't appear to be his ass. So, yeah, I mean, that'd be a tough fight. Like, I'm not saying he wouldn't win rounds and look good, but eventually I think Sugar Matias will catch up to him and whoop his ass. So,
Yeah,
he needs a little bit more seasoning before he's really rushing in talking about being champions right now.
I would like to see him and Sandor Martin. I think he'll beat Martin's ass.
Yeah, that's a good fight. If Sandor Martin wants to. Yeah, I mean, Cassandra was still riding behind Mikey Garcia. He's like, I beat Mikey Garcia and retired and da 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 da. So
Yeah, I retired him.
so he's still riding behind Mikey Garcia. So yeah, and not to mention he's probably waiting to see what happens with Josh Taylor and Cadillac. That's mostly why the 140 division over at the zone is kind of on hush mode because they only got one belt left. And, well, no, actually, Josh Taylor's at the top of them.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, well, the zone they have no champions at 140. So you know, they're kind of they're kind of us mode. They're stuck, and to be honest, the whole damn near the entire division is going to be PBC. If Regis couldn't compare it because he fought on PBC before, they can get him over there. Pueblo's already PBC, and Matias is going to beat the shit out of Ponce because I've never even heard of Ponce. It's quite honest. So yeah, it's going to be a fucking showdown over on Showtime.
Yeah, look, I'm looking at the rankings right now, and 140 rankings have changed up a bit. Uh, like you got, surprisingly, you had Tiafimo ranked at like number two, or what, like number three, right, in the WBO.
What?
Find that shit crazy.
God. All right. All right, kid, well, whatever. What you gonna do? Try to make him versus John Taylor? That's a decent fight to be
Yeah, I don't know why the hell he wants Josh Taylor,
honest.
but
No fucking
he's
market.
gonna get knocked out.
Nah, give him a bit. I mean, I'm not saying. I think Josh Taylor probably decision him, but I don't know if Josh Taylor got enough to knock him out because he couldn't even stop Reed. He couldn't stop
Yeah,
Reed. He couldn't stop Barantic, so I don't think he's gonna stop him.
yeah. I was gonna let you know, Tiafimo is actually number one in the WBO right now.
Oh,
Um,
of course.
yeah,
So
like I see it on Boxing Scene. If I
so
have
what
to
they
go to the WBO's website.
So what they gonna do? Have Catterall beat ass and then have TFU versus Catterall so we can get a fucking so we can get crap. Okay, like once Devin Haney fucking beat Loma, he needs to go up and if TFU gonna get that WBO, he needs to press TFU more immediately and get the smoke he should have got over at the zone. TFU won't fucking suck. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got a little bit of marginal skill, but he's not so positive. Like
Yeah, he's not making it.
yeah, no,
But
he's
my
paying your damn on the time.
yeah, I was gonna say that one of my friends that I know, Nestor Bravo, he's ranked number 12 in the WBO right now. So
I mean, yeah, hopefully he can break into that top 10. Like, hopefully he can be fighting dudes like Martin or that dude Ergashev, who's often on
Yeah, Ergashev, that's a good ass fight. That's a dangerous fight.
yeah, that dude's decent. I like Ergashev. I feel like people are sleeping on him, which that's not good. 'Cause they might get beat up.
Um, I'm not too sure if he can get the fight with Cesar Francis that fights on Pro Box, but if that could be a possibility, then I'd say take him out. That's an easy ticket to boost up on the ranking push.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's definitely a good fight if you just fucking get it. And yeah, and I think Ergashev fights on Pro Box too. I mean, not Pro Box, but like shows, like the little Showtime, little small Showtime card. But that's an issue. But yeah, whoever's managing him, so either promotions over there, they need to get him some goddamn fights and get him in the mix. Same with Charles Conwell. I know Charles Conwell's been fucked over, but Charles Conwell got a date like this. So, could be.
Oh, Conwell's being screwed over.
Yeah, something in the contract. They wanted to sign, they wanted to sign his life away for X amount of fights to make sure he's not maximizing the money he's getting. That's typical promoter thing. So I remember DeBella and them were exposing it on Twitter, and I'm like, man, I'm like, Conwell just needs to fucking whoever he's dealing with now, he needs to just leave them and sign up with Al Heyman and PBC directly. Because Al Heyman and PBC, they own the whole 154 division. They own the whole division. They don't know.
Holy shit!
Yeah, dealing with these big ass dudes, just go to PBC and fucking sign.
Man, I feel bad for him, man.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, he's still young, so he's not like he's not in his prime yet. But like, it's just talent being fucking wasted. He can start.
Yeah, I think sooner than later he's gonna be a champion. I see it.
Yeah, and Conwell versus fucking Boots is gonna be a mega fight. Oh my god, that's gonna be the fight to end all fights.
I'm actually looking at 154 right now. Charles Conwell, he's number 12 in the WBA. He's number 5 in the WBC. He's number 4 in the IBF, and he is number 8 in the WBO. So he's basically right there, because everybody else is going to beat each other out. So
He's number. He's number 4. Hey. Oh wait. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit. So honestly, that means he should get the winner of Tony Harrison versus Fundora. Charlo's got to handle Tim Zoo. He got to be doing a mandatory for the fucking.
you got to handle Tim Kazoo.
Yeah, man. That dude's literally talking about Tim Zoo gonna beat Charlo easily. I'm like, what the? Oh my.
Gonna whip Charles' ass. Yo, I got so many Australians that are trying to tell me, mate, you understand you like you American black fighters are not that good, and I'm like, in what fucking world do you see like a guy like Charlo, like out of his entire caliber, ever being undisciplined to get knocked smooth the hell out by Tim Zoo? And like all these weird ass fans just keep saying Tim Zoo's power is just way better than Charlo. He's just gonna knock him out, and he has up the size, he has up the pressure over Charlo, and I'm like, Charlo is way bigger than Tim Zoo, and he hits way harder than Tim Zoo, and he knows how to box extremely well when he's focused. And I don't ever even see Charlo really taking Tim Kazoo not any lightly. Like he's gonna go in there and just brutally stop him. Like that's just how I see it happening.
I mean, yeah. Because first of all, when it comes to boxing, Tim Zoo is not good. And I don't know which win. I don't know which win showed people that he was super good. I'm not saying that resume is everything, but if you look at him during fights, he's not defensively responsible. He's not particularly fast in any regard. He punches hard. He throws a decent amount of punches, but he's there to be hit. He's there to be hit. He's shown some durability, but he's never been in there with anyone the caliber of Charlo. So when people say that, oh, he's going to easily beat Charlo, I'm like, first of all, there's no easily beating an undisputed champion. You're not easily doing shit. And second of all, what makes y'all think Tim Zoo is going to be the one to do it? I mean, I think that Fundora would get his ass smoked too, but it'll be a harder fight for Charlo than fucking Tim Zoo. I mean, are you literally rating this? Are you literally rating this dude because his dad knocked out Zab Judo on some chicken dance shit? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's also crazy is that he has his IBF and WBA number one mandatory fighters, if that's ever to be a thing, with Israel Madrimov and Bakram Murtazayev.
Yeah,
And then surprisingly, Tony Harrison, he's number one. But then I think that's why
well,
the WBC.
Fedor's the interim, and yeah, Harrison's number one. So Fedor and Harrison got moved. So the winner of that would be, after July. Yes.
Oh, okay. So this title eliminator that they're gonna fight, that's gonna mandate them to be the mandatory next.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. But I mean, I don't even know why if Fedor's the interim, just press your mandatory status for the WBC. What the fuck you fighting another eliminator for? That's fucking stupid. You better
Yeah,
hurry.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see the need for Tony to fight Sebastian. Just let Fundora get beat up by Jermel Charlo, or I think what's gonna end up happening is like Charlo's gonna just beat up Tim, and then he's gonna vacate all the belts, and then after that, he'll just move forward with just like going up to 160, and then Tony and Sebastian will fight for the WBC, and then Israel, and I would hope that Michael Sora or Michelle Sora, they don't fight again, because I think Israel proven that he already beat him up, good enough to be the victor. And then Murtazalia and Jack Colque, they're gonna fight most likely for the vacancy. And then
I think that Fedor is using Harrison to get experience for Charlo. He wants to be in a position where he fought someone that was able to successfully beat Charlo. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
even though people say that that decision was trash, that is what it is. But he wants to fight someone who actually beat Charlo to get some experience because he's never fought anyone of that caliber. All he's been doing is fighting Charlo's leftovers. So,
yeah, that's true, because it's like like at least give yourself like a good tough fight to like lead up to a Charlo fight, and that'll get you ready. Because I think Fundora, like, like I'm not gonna bash him as like a bad fighter. It's just that he just needs to keep getting more experience. That's all. Because even in his last fight that he had with Ocampo looked like he was like about to hurt him and stop him, and Fundora looked like, I don't know if he's just like really awkward when he fights, but he just has horrible foot placement positioning, right? Like like every time when he gets hit, he looks like he's about to like fall down.
well, I mean, he's very tall and he fights well on the inside. He fights hunched over. So whenever you fight someone that can successfully push him back, he looks kind of awkward. But honestly, I thought he looked like shit against Sergio Garcia. And Tony Harrison handled Sergio Garcia.
Yeah,
No,
Sergio Garcia should have won. I
yeah,
thought he won.
I thought that too, and a lot of people missed it in the seventh round, right when Sergio Garcia started to rally and push Fundora back. They ended the round 60 seconds early. Not a lot of people caught that. So I'm like, yeah, I know Fundora's good. He's tall. He shows some skill, but he's not the fucking ultimate killer that everyone's talking about. And I think if he would fight Charlo, he would beat his ass. Because the thing is too, they said that Charlo was gonna avoid Tim Tszyu and Fundora, and then not a week later, he's already signed to fight Tim Tszyu. So I'm like, what else does Charlo have to do to prove himself? What else
Yeah,
does he need to do? Does he need to beat up Harrison a third fucking time? Like what else? What else we gotta do here?
yeah, because it's like Charlo doesn't need to give any of these guys fights. He could just say "F you," I'm moving up to 160. Like that's what he needs to do. Like,
We just gotta wait on his brother because Jamal is supposed to be coming back, and I assume that Jamal is coming back at 160 because he's still a champion, and there are some good fights for him. So they just both. I mean, Jamal's doing what he's supposed to do. Maul just got to figure out what the fuck is cracking with his situation. So hopefully he'll be back strong. He'll be back right, and he'll be back in business. But yeah, no, I'm just like, when y'all want to get this motherfucker back?
I mean, I would like to see the Charlo brothers fight each other. That'd be funny.
People don't realize it right now, but Jamal is the better fighter. Jamal will beat Jamal's ass. And that's just real shit. That's just real shit. If Jamal
Yeah, Jamal is like,
yeah,
yeah.
Jamal moved up so Jamal could have shit to do. If Jamal had stayed down there and made weight at 154, he would have just knocked everyone out. Like all these dudes you're hearing about now, you wouldn't even be hearing about. Fucking all the fucking Lubins, you saw how he did J Rock. He would just do that to everybody else. J
Yeah.
Rock,
That's Jason Rosario.
Harrison, Zoo, Fedor, all these niggas. Like, bro, he would knock these dudes out.
beat up, beat up, Sergey Dervyachenko.
Oh my god, like he would knock these dudes the fuck out of here. So yeah, he, like I said, he literally went up. He went up in weight so Jamel could have shit. So Jamel could have something to eat. Because if not for that, Jamel you wouldn't even know who Jamel Charlo is. It would be the fucking Jamal Charlo show.
Yeah, that's true. Jamal Charlo would have easily been undisputed by now, and
Oh yeah, there wouldn't have been no fucking Harrison rematch. He would have knocked Harrison the fuck out.
yeah, he would have said, "F you, get out of my way. I'm just too dangerous out here." And actually, honestly, as much as I criticize Charlo, but I actually like him a lot. I really do appreciate what Ronnie Shields has done for him, because I think if that wasn't a core of his skill set, to have Ronnie Shields, like how should I say, like guide him the way he's been handling himself, then I think we wouldn't have seen the best out of Charlo. Because regardless of what anybody says about Charlo, he's a very dedicated fighter. Like, yeah, I understand he had some instances with his outside family life, and he has like certain disciplinary actions that he's had. But I don't think Charlo's like that. I think Charlo's a very level-headed person, and he's way more disciplined than his brother Jermel at times. Because with Jermel, he gets caught up with what we say about him, and then he gets pissed off about it. So he has more emotional flare-ups compared to Jamal. Jamal, he's like a little bit more cooler, and he doesn't really care what anybody says about him. He's
Well, that's
just
because Jamal ain't really been. Unfortunately, the political reality of his situation is that Jamal haven't really been up to shit. It's because all the smoke at 154 happens to be at PBC, and 160. Not only is 160 shit right now, but the belts are all spread out. And keep in mind, we got to remember, nobody wants to fight Jamal Charlo, and there's a good reason for that, because Jamal Charlo is a tough fight, and there's a reasonable chance you can be very, very hurt. So that makes a lot of sense. And Majestic Hero, I know it sounds crazy based on their accomplishments, but the reality is that Jamal Charlo is. I'm sorry, but he's the better fighter. I mean, Jamal looks
yeah,
more
Jamal's way
dynamic.
better than him.
No, not way better. I'm not saying that it's a massive gap, but Jamal is, he's better, he's stronger, and Mel is probably a little bit faster, but and Jamal has. I'm not gonna say he's handled the more sophisticated competition, but a lot of like Deverenchenko, got the same schooling that Triple G did and managed to get over on Triple G. A lot of people thought.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. I agree.
so it's no disrespect, and I could easily be wrong. Jamal might beat up Jamal or whatever, but if they fought, I would pick Jamal based on what I've seen. Because
Yeah.
and no disrespect to Rodney Shields, I do think Derek James is the better coach and teaches better adjustments. That's no disrespect, but he has done what he can. Ronnie Shields is Ronnie Shields has other fighters that he's dealing with, especially like David Morrell Jr. So honestly, it's up to Charlo to fix him. It's up to Charlo to fix his shit. I know his family's been trying to get him in trouble and doing all this stuff, and he's had to go back and forth to court. But it's up to Jamal Charlo at this point. And I disagree with you when you say that Maul is more disciplined. I think that Mel is more disciplined because he's had to be, because his career's been more active. But I think once Maul is more consistent fighting and actually focused on boxing instead of dealing with the
Yeah,
bullshit at his house, he'll be back where he needs to be.
yeah, because like the reason why I say he's a little bit more disciplined than Jermel is because Jermel, he has these like emotional outbreaks where he starts getting pissed off with like what we say about him, and then like you see it like all the time on social media. He like he be going live trying to get all angry at like nonsensical stuff, but it's like with Jamal, like he doesn't need to say anything. He just keeps it moving. He seems like a very chill person, and I don't think Jamal really cares what anybody says about him. But if people praise him, and he knows that he's being motivated by the fans that really do like him, then I think Jamal's scaling is a little bit higher than Jamal. But Jamal and Jamal, they're terrific fighters. They're not fighters that are going to blow away their careers.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. And but the thing is though, Jamel Charlo channeled the anger that people had on him, and he channeled it into success. I'm gonna need Jamal Charlo to do that, because right now most boxing fans think Jamal Charlo is a fucking joke. they equate Jamal with Andre and shit. And I'm like, that's fine, but y'all got to remember, even Andre didn't want to fight Charlo.
Yeah,
I know that deal was for the smaller brother, but like I wouldn't have picked Andre to beat up Charlo at 160. It would have been a good fight. It's a 50-50 fight, but I would pick Charlo. So like I said,
agree.
y'all can talk all the shit y'all want, but the reality is, ain't nobody even champions don't want to unify with Charlo. Triple G didn't want to fight Charlo. Jermel is in a good situation because people want to fight him. All the belts are at one company and people want to fight him. Nobody's done him. Charlo, it's much more difficult.
Yeah,
And honestly, Charlo got to make some moves. Charlo, unfortunately, the way his career's been managed, even as a champion, he might have to fuck around and bite some bullets. I know he's over 30 and is looking to make money, but he might have to take some fucking a pay cut or two to get this shit done. He might have to go to Top Rank. He might have to go to the Zone. But it's all a matter of what the fuck he wants to do. I'm not sure if he's exclusive with Showtime, but he got to figure it out, goddammit, or he got to go up.
yeah. Like I just want to see him move up. I think he'll do way better.
Yeah, like it is what it is. Like, he got to make some moves. He got to take his fucking career in his hands and figure some shit out. Do you want to be great? Do you want to make this money, or do you want to sit around, fight marginal opposition just because it's easy like Bud?
Yeah, and if he hadn't got injured, I think that fight with Majis Sulecki would have been a good ass fight,
Yeah,
and I think he would have stopped him.
I mean, it would have been a situation where we would have had to see, like where he's at, type shit.
Yeah, but Charlo is a great talent. He doesn't he doesn't come into any fight looking like crap. Like obviously, like people will say the Montiel fight he looked horrible, but I don't think so. I think Charlo just looked like a little bit shaky because you know his ring activity is just not as consistent as it used to be, and I think he's just not putting himself in position to stay active. But I think once you like give him like a better fight schedule where people are willing to fight him, then I think that's what makes Jamal Charlo a pretty damn good fighter when he stays consistently active. But I think he should just move up to 168 because that should be like the better move.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Uh, me personally, I think he should stay at 160 for now. He should knock off Adames, try to knock off Mungiev, and then try to knock off Triple G. And if Triple G don't happen, then fucking move up to 168. But there are still some good scalps for him at 160. But whatever he decides to do on with it, just he needs to come back and make some moves and fucking let these bitch dudes know that it's not sweet over here. That I know y'all see my brother and you think, oh, he's the better Charlo, da, 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 but shit's not a game. But I like Jamal, and,
Yeah, I like him a lot.
But anyways,
Um,
let's transition to the top rated cards. If you don't mind. I'm actually rewatching some of those fights as we speak.
yeah, those fights were a little bit crazy to watch, but yeah, like I'll start with the who was that one fighter that fought on the card? They had Floyd Castro Diaz, right? I thought he looked like amazing. How do you think about him?
I like cash flow, I really do. Um, One thing that was interesting to me was that I don't know what was going on there, but first off, did he cut down in weight or has he always been a super bantamweight?
Originally he fought at bantamweight, so I want to say this is his like move up in weight, right, or something like that.
Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't sure because he looks pretty big for a fucking super bantam. So I wasn't sure. Okay, yeah, he started off at fucking bantamweight. Okay, yes, that's cool. Yeah, he looked good. Um, I've always liked his skill set. One thing that was weird to me is that he seemed to abandon his jab and wanted to fight on the inside. I didn't care for, I didn't care for that too much. But aside from that, no, he looked pretty good. Got the knockout, which is dope. But you know, just got to work on his defensive responsibility and stuff, especially when he called out Inoue and Fulton. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well, yeah, you definitely got to work on your defensive responsibility and your jab if you want to be able to deal with those two. So I hope you don't plan on fighting like that against either one of those because they would whoop your little ass. But I like Cashflow. He's very entertaining to watch. A lot of skills, a lot of potential. I like.
Yeah, same here. I think he needs to just keep fighting veterans in the division. I like to see him in the ring with a lot of good names. I think he's very well capable of fighting, like, I don't know, like, I would like that one fighter, Elijah Pierce. I think he's a good fighter. Um, I think that might be a good test for him. But anybody that's willing to like fight back with him that has a good veteran record, like, like I'm okay with it. It's just like I'm not gonna say like feed him to Rais Ali and just say, oh well, that's like a good fight. Like no, he's 8-0 right now, I think, or 9-0. But it's like I just don't think at this stage of his career like he needs to be like moved extremely fast. And I think what the best move if I was managing his career, I just give him guys that are in the top 100 or at least top 200. That's some good smoke. I don't know if that's like a right move. If you think that's a good plan.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, he hasn't even had 10 fights yet, so that's fine. He can dick around until fights number maybe like 12 or 13, 14, and then they step him up some, where he's fighting contenders on his level. That's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. Like I said, if he like for example, yeah, if he were to fight Reese Salim, how he did this last guy, he probably would have got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah,
But that's just
I wouldn't even think like Mike Plania would be like a bad fight, but Mike Plania he can hit. So
Oh yeah, Mike Plania has got one of the quickest left hooks in the game. Ask Joshua Greer, who got planted on his ass twice in a row with the same punch.
yeah, even Joshua Greer wouldn't even be like a really good style matchup for Floyd right now. I just don't think that's
Nah,
like the
Joshua
best.
Greer, he could beat Greer. No, he could beat Greer.
Oh,
Greer,
really?
unfortunately, yeah, yeah. The reality is that Greer, when it comes to speed, he kind of withers in the later rounds. I mean, Cashflow, he hasn't really gone 12 rounds yet, but once Cashflow gets up to the 12-round fight mark, he'll be able to beat Greer. Greer
Yeah, I think so. I just think it's just all due to how everything, gets managed with him. Like I think he's more than capable to beat veteran level fighters. It's just that you just need to give him like the proper styles, and I think that's something that could easily be made for him because once he gets to the bigger stage, I think he'll be fine. He just needs to be careful with just being matched up early in his career with like all the potential like veterans that are out there that won't be afraid to actually like give him some tough work, and they might potentially hurt him and stop him.
Yeah, no, real talk. I mean, I think he's being moved appropriately. I think he's been showing the right amount of. I think he's been experiencing the right amount of adversity. And if he starts handling dudes, like if he starts knocking more dudes out, then yeah, of course step his competition up because you don't want to. We don't want to put people in a situation where they're fucking, like unless they're waiting on champions, we don't want to have contenders that are fucking 35-0 with 27 knockouts, and we still don't know what the fuck they're capable of.
Yeah,
That's how you end up with like the Jaime Munguias of the world, or the fucking what's his name, or the Janabeks of the world. They finally not even a step up, a fucking step lateral, and they're in there getting exposed. Like look at Hergovich. The motherfucker thought he was some kind of real life boogeyman, but then he gets beat up by some 40-year-old Chinese dude.
yep.
You know how rare it is to have a Chinese heavyweight? Like, come on.
Yeah, it's definitely not normal. And I actually thought Zhang actually won that fight, but
Yeah, me too. Shit.
yeah, because I didn't think Ergovich deserved that win. But knowing that he's a hype job, and he's just a trash individual in boxing, it's just like you were never that good because why? Because you got associated with Deontay Wilder early in your career.
Yeah, this guy got some sparring. He was good. He was a little bit of sparring footage of him getting over on Wilder. And I'm like, bro, Wilder was training for champions and you were a prospect. You think he was in there loading up on you? I'm like, you think he was in there trying to hurt the kid? Like, nah, bro. But either way, if people actually if Wilder and Hergovich were actually in talks to fight, people would call it a cherry
Yeah,
pick. People would call that shit a cherry pick. They would.
yeah. The biggest problem that I have with like a lot of these hyped up fighters on multiple stables is that they really do think that they're good until they actually get beat up real bad. And it's like, even on like even with guys like with Top Rank or DAZN, like those fighters easily show that they're not good, but yet they still have this weird mantra of believing that they're gonna be something. But it's like if they're not showing that they're gonna put in that work to be great, then I just can't believe in you. Like I just don't think you're good, and you just have to work on like a bunch of stuff. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I tell people all the time that ESPN marketing is undefeated. I tell people that all the time. I go, ESPN marketing is undefeated. ESPN could say somebody is the next coming of Christ, and no matter what that person does, people will believe it. Like, bro, Keyshawn had all of 3 or 4 fights, and he was already being mentioned in the same vein as Devin Haney and Tank. I'm like, what? What are y'all talking about? Like people always say, "Oh, I think Keyshawn will beat Devin Haney right now." I'm like, how are you putting that together? And it's not even about the resumes. It's not even about the experience factor. It's just about when you look at both fighters, and when you look at both fighters and what they've shown us in the ring thus far. What exactly does Keyshawn do? In which he just threatens everybody. Where's the separation?
Yeah, Key.
Like where? Like just tell like people can't even tell me. Oh, he got power. I'm like, okay, great. He's 5-0. You're supposed to be knocking out dudes when you only have 5 fights. They're not giving you people to test you out. I guarantee you, if Devin Haney called out Keyshawn right now, you'd be accusing him of fucking cherry picking.
Yeah, like I was just about to let you know, Keyshawn is gonna fight Juan Carlos Burgos, and even though Juan Carlos Burgos is not, at his best, but I think he has a good shot at knocking out Keyshawn Davis.
I mean, yeah, yeah, he's very tough. He's very tough. Throws a lot of punches. Is pretty crafty, decent counter puncher. I think Keyshawn is going to beat him. But like I'll tell you this: if Keyshawn can get rid of this dude early, that would tell me a lot about Keyshawn. But if he goes the distance and just gets the decision, nigga ain't special. And when I say that, I don't mean like just like I mean just get a regular old decision. Like if he styles on him to where Burgos doesn't win a single round, yeah, okay, that's solid. That's good work. But if he goes in there and just gets a regular ass decision where it's like 6-4 or 7-3 or some shit, I'm like, bro, you're not telling me nothing.
Yeah, it's just sad because it's like he probably really thinks he's gonna just blow through everybody out, but the minute he gets matched up with some dude that I haven't heard of that drops him and stops him, then I think that's just gonna be like the end of him, and he's probably gonna end up being like Otha Jones, but the third, just not being heard of, and he's just gonna be, MIA for the rest of his career.
I just get tired of motherfuckers. Like, bro, everybody who takes a picture and hangs out with Terrence Crawford is not Terrence Crawford. And keep in mind, even Terrence Crawford himself, considering what he's currently doing, is not this super badass killer that we've all been led to believe. So, I just get tired of the recency bias. Like these dudes, they'll fucking just certify anybody off anything. And I'm just, oh my god, like what the fuck has Keyshawn even showed us to show you that he beats all these people? I'm like, okay, you go ahead and put good money on Keyshawn to do it. And also it's funny because like they'll say, oh, they want to fight the best, but then Keyshawn and Shakur won't fight each other. I thought y'all were the best.
Actually, did you hear about Isaac Pitbull Cruz's comments towards Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah, I heard it. Apparently he don't want smoke, and I'm like, that's stupid because you fought the more dangerous version of Shakur in Tank. So I don't know why you wouldn't take that fight. I don't know what the fuck he's waiting on, but that was dumb. It's a stupid decision. If
What I'm saying, like,
yeah, if what I heard from their camp is actually true and not just Bob Arum talking out of his ass, that's dumb. That's a foolish decision.
yeah, it's just like so weird because it's like you have way more experience than Shakur, and it's like for you to say that just pretty much explains to me like you were never that good heading into the Tank fight, and I just think Shakur Stevenson he's gonna be looked at more as like a boogeyman at 135 if he's able to than Pitbull will because people really think Pitbull's gonna just beat everybody up and just stop them. and it's like I don't see that. I I even brought up the Thomas Mattis fight, right? I didn't think Pitbull won that fight. It looked like Thomas could have won that fight. But I got to take a look at that fight like again. But yeah, like who is Pitbull? Like he's not like the ultimate warrior out here, just destroying everybody at lightweight. Lightweight is filled with killers, and I don't think Pitbull is really showing me anything that the lightweight division could be like afraid of him for. And I think eventually, once it's time to really step it up with like deadly opposition, it's over. But also, I actually heard like word of mouth rumor. I'm not too sure if it's true, but Edwin De Los Santos and Pitbull, they could fight each other next. That's what I've been hearing.
That fight makes a lot of sense, but I'm like, okay, so where I'm at with that is Cruz ducking Shakur is bad, but it makes sense because Isaac Cruz is not a talented boxer. The one asset that he has is when he's in with a more talented boxer, he doesn't attempt to box him, which I think is a good fight because all of Shakur's opponents have attempted to box him, and that plays right into Shakur's hands when they all know Shakur is the superior boxer. So that's stupid.
Yeah,
But the one thing is that Isaac Cruz doesn't have a jab, so you're not really going to stand a chance against a superior boxer without at least a jab. And the jab isn't necessarily to box that individual; it's to distract them and disorient them to set up combinations. Because
yeah,
Canelo is not a pure boxer, but he uses his jab not as a really a weapon, but as to disorient someone so he can set up actual combos on the inside. So if you don't have a jab, you're not going to be Shakur. So it makes sense that he would duck, but it's just stupid because you're passing up money, you're passing up an opportunity to get a name on your resume, and also you have a better chance to beat Shakur because Shakur doesn't punch as hard as Tank. So
yeah,
so the fact that you wouldn't take that fight is fucking stupid.
yeah. Like I love Shakur a lot, but I have like a deep feeling inside my head that I think Pitbull could easily stop him. If he's able to apply his pressure, smart in that fight. But I just don't see that happening. But if Pitbull, if he's able to beat Shakur, then all power to you, because you beating Shakur means that you have status at lightweight, so that makes you a good fighter. And I think like at this stage of his career, why wouldn't like why wouldn't you take the risk in fighting Shakur? When you have way more experience than him, and you definitely pack a way more deadlier punch than him. So it's not like you can't. Oh, I'm sorry. You guys. Or,
Truth be told, even if what's the name? Even if Cruz had said, "I want all the smoke," I don't think that Shakur and Bob Arum would have allowed that to be Cruz's first fight at 135. I'm just being honest.
yeah, I agree. Um, I think even with Pitbull's like style per se, like he has a good style to contend at 135. But I think his biggest downfall would be when somebody isn't afraid to not go toe to toe with him and actually tire him out to the late game. I think Pitbull, he's gonna get stopped, fighting like that, because it may seem like he doesn't get hit a lot, but I think he does. Like he doesn't really move his head as frequently, and he's extremely flat-footed. He doesn't utilize any of what the core fundamentals of like being like an actual you know, like being like a good come forward, boxer puncher per se.
I mean, it's possible. His chin is very durable. He took some very hard right hands from Tank. Unfortunately, Tank's left hand was broken during the fight. But no, his chin is good. I don't really see him being stopped by anyone that doesn't have a lot of punching power. So I'm not gonna say he'll get stopped by someone. I mean, maybe if someone really targets his body and slows him down potentially. But no, I don't really see him being stopped at anyone at lightweight aside from Tank. But yeah, no. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, if what his camp said was true, that's a stupid ass decision. But I personally don't think that Aaron would have allowed Shakur to fight him as his first fight in 135. Because to keep it real with you, everyone like Shakur's like, oh, I'll fight anybody. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, but I don't think that he is solid like that. I don't think he's solid like that. But we will see. We will have to see.
Yeah, I think when Devin leaves lightweight, the fighters that I believe that are going to be taking over the division is going to be Frank Martin, maybe Michelle Rivera, and I say maybe Pitbull, and then Shakur, and then if Tank, if he's still like around, he's gonna have like a massive round robin with like everybody, and then that's about it.
I don't know, man. Tank, I don't know. He gotta show me. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck he's on. Like, I don't, he feels like he's apparently fighting in January in DC, and we don't know who his next opponent is. I mean, some people are saying Ryan Garcia, which I don't believe. Some people are saying Cruz too. Some people are saying Hector Garcia. I mean, Gary Antoine Russell recently said he'd come back down to 135 if it was a tank fight. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I hope it's Gary Antoine Russell. That'd be dope. But
Yeah, I'm actually down for that.
yes, I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is on. But Tank got to show me something. I don't know.
Yeah, most definitely. I think everything that he's doing right now, it's definitely on fraud watch if he's gonna fight some guy that I haven't heard of, and then everyone's gonna say, "Oh, well, look, at least he's fighting somebody." Like, no, he's not. And I think that's what gets me so pissed off because it's like Gervonta, he's not doing anything for us, and I mean, it's just getting me pissed off at this point where, I can't really like trust him, and I just don't know how his legacy will be viewed because I'm personally thinking he's gonna be looked at as like a fraud when everything gets exposed, but I would hope not because he's a very skilled fighter, but Gervonta is like really making me pissed off at him, like as if I can't really trust him now.
I mean, well, you heard Mayweather talking that. She's talking about your kids can't eat legacy and da 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 da. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't really talk too much about it because it don't even like. I'm not even really focused on like if his next fight is certified, great. If it's not, then I'm just gonna file him in the same category I filed Canelo and not even worried about who the fuck he fights because
Yeah,
I'm only focused on people who want to put on good fights. If he wants to just sit there and make money doing nothing, all right, cool, go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna talk about the other fights that were on the card. What were your thoughts on guys like Antonio Morales, Charlie Sheehy, Raymond Marataya, and who's the other guy that was on the card?
What was it? Leandro Vargas, the
Oh
son.
yeah, Emiliano Vargas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, let me go. Let me just go down this. So, sorry. Um, but Charlie Sheehy lasted around. I mean, he's 4-0. He looks good. His opponent was 2-0. That's cool. But hey, he looks solid. He's got some good fundamentals. But of course, we got to see more. He's very early, very developmental, and we just got to see. We just got to see. So, but he looked sharp. He looked good, and I guess that was an opponent technically that was on his level. So yeah, hold on. Let me see.
yeah. Like I wasn't too happy with the opponent. I felt like he just signed up to get knocked out. But yeah, he looked really really bad, and
I mean, we gotta give Trevor Sheehy some credit. I mean, the fight didn't last that long, and the guy it was only a 4 rounder, and the guy himself is only 2-0. So this is what he's supposed to be doing. So like I said, he looks good, but again, that's just because that guy was that guy. Morellis. So Morellis is fucking huge. That's good.
he's really really good. I
He's
like
he's,
him.
he's absolutely huge, but he's talented. I mean, he shows some skill for a heavyweight. He puts his hands up, one behind the other. I don't like that low guard, but the 1-2 is pretty solid. He fought I guess a decent opponent, some dude 5-0, Eric Perry. I watched the fight. He knocked his ass out, which is good, but that guy was very sloppy, very slow,
Yeah,
wild, not much skill. So but no, I like Morales, and I can't wait to see what he see his development. And Morales is definitely better than fucking Richard Torres. Richard Torres is fucking horrible. Like Richard Torres is just big.
yeah. Richard Torres can get. I'll probably favor Morales to knock him out. If they ever fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Probably like definitely Morales' decision, but it just depends. it just depends. But no, Richard Torres, I don't like. Motherfuckers think Richard Torres is good. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck y'all talking about? Richard Torres is one of those fighters that's just big. He's just big. He's not good. Even in the amateurs, he got knocked out by fucking Jalabov or fucking Jalopy, whatever the fuck his name is. He got knocked out by that guy, and keep in mind that guy's not good. That guy's not good either.
did he get knocked out, or I thought it was a decision?
No, I saw him hit the fucking canvas. Maybe it was just a knockdown, but I thought he got.
Yeah, like I know Jalalov knocked him down, and
Okay.
he was beating his ass, the entire fight.
Okay, my mistake. But yeah, I thought he got put the fuck to bed. But okay. Yeah, then that's what happened. But
Yeah,
but yeah, no, like I said, Jalalov, fucking Jalabov, whatever the fuck his name is, he's not good either. He's he's just some fucking
yeah,
guy.
he's garbage.
I mean, these dudes have the ability to improve, but I gotta see more. Like these dudes right now they're just big. They're just big. They're not particularly special. Um, let me see. Oh yeah, see right now I just pulled up the Charlie Sheehy fight. Yeah, he's got fast hands, got a good jab. He's not irresponsible when he's trying to go in for the kill. He jabs his way in. See, I like Sheehy. He shows some
Yeah,
skill, but this is an opponent that he's supposed to do this with. He's supposed to look good and destroy them. So I'm not going to certify him off that. Carlos Balderas. So that's another guy trained by Buddy McGirt.
yeah,
Now,
buddy.
yeah, I like Carlos. Carlos is good. He's fast. He's aggressive. But his defensive responsibility needs Jesus because he was getting tagged the fuck up in that fight, and it was by the same punches. It was needless punishment. He just wasn't moving his head. So yeah, so Buddy McGirt needs to tighten that shit up. But ultimately, no, I like Balderas. He's an interesting come forward fighter, and I like the way he looks. He looks good. He looks solid. He's very very entertaining. So
Yeah, he needs to work on his defense immensely because imagine if that Sanchez guy had power like Rene Giron. I think he would have stopped him, and he was getting right into his rhythm. And I think Carlos just didn't really respect his power because he really thought he was going to beat him up like what Keyshawn Davis did to him. But the only difference was that Keyshawn was actually like applying pressure, consistently to him. So it's not like um, it's not like with that particular performance, it's a bad style. It's just that he did sloppy in the event of trying to make himself look good by trying to force a stoppage, but it's like he didn't do anything effectively and responsibly.
yeah, yeah, no, I definitely agree. Buddy McGirt is not the coach you go to if you want to tighten up your defense, unfortunately. But yeah, like I think he definitely needs to tighten some shit up, especially heading into 135. Like that's see, like that's a guy, Carlos Balderas. That's the dude that Keyshawn. If they want to step him up and see what he's about, he'll fight Keyshawn. And if Keyshawn can knock him out, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, for sure. That's certified. He doesn't move his head. He's 13-1. So yeah. So that's the kind of dude that they could probably feed to Keyshawn because he doesn't move his head. He's not very defensive responsible. And Keyshawn can get in there and look super good at knocking him out. And be like, oh, he's stepping up in competition, all that bullshit.
Yeah, they're gonna say, "Oh, Carlos Balderas is trash" once again, and it's just mainly due to the fact of what we just said. He needs to be defensively responsible, or else he's just gonna get set up to face some guy that he thinks he's gonna stop, and then he's gonna get hit with something heavy, and then he's gonna get knocked out.
Well, I definitely wouldn't say he's trash. I absolutely wouldn't say he's trash. He's just not. He's not the kind of person that's going to be at the world level for very long. Like if he were a fighter that like currently with how thick 135 is, I'm not sure he gets a title. But if he was the kind of fighter that did get a title, he wouldn't keep it for very long. He's like right now he's like Max Sayo. Max Sayo is fast. He's powerful. He has some skill, but like when it comes to the top dudes, nah. I knew Ray Barber was going to beat him.
Yeah,
Yeah. And right
and
now,
I mean, like, I like him a lot, but it's just like I think after what PBC did to him, like he was just like, oh nah, man, like I can't be fighting these guys no more. So he probably thinks politically Top Rank is going to do him any better, but I don't think so. I think
Wait,
I think
Balderas was on PBC.
huh?
Balderas was on PBC.
Yeah, him and his brother, they were on PBC at one point, and
Is that where
I
his
don't.
one loss came from?
Yeah, to Rene Giron. I watched that fight, and Carlos got dropped like multiple times in that fight, and sadly, he just never came back because he was like quote unquote, hyping himself up to think he was like the next big thing, but that the problem with that was that he really got exposed in that fight, and then I never heard anything from him since that loss. And Giron, I like him a lot because he's a good ass fighter. Like nobody doesn't give him like a lot of credit, but yeah, Giron did his thing, and he actually showed a lot of levels, in that fight. Even though Carlos was, definitely giving him like a tough war, but I think honestly, like just based off of what I saw, Giron was like the more hungrier fighter, and he made up the necessary adjustments to make Carlos, think a lot. And then once he dropped him and stopped him, like that's when Carlos, he went quiet, and then here we are back in like the same situation with Top Rank. Because I think the only reason why he's even with Top Rank was mainly because, from what I heard, him and his father had a conversation with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum he had a lot of interest in Carlos, so Carlos was already like in the talks of like wanting to be with Top Rank, but it's like if you already had this plan inside like your head, then why would you have done the route with PBC then? Because it's like PBC, they were already gonna match you up tough, and he probably thought at that time frame when he lost to Rene Giron, like he didn't think Rene was going to beat him because he thought he was like the ultimate badass, and um, that's what happens. PBC matchmaking is not like top rank matchmaking. They give you all the killers, but not to say Top Rank they don't have any killers like of their own, but it's like it's clearly evident that Carlos he's been looking good for like the past 4 or 5 fights, mainly because of what the matchmaking that Top Rank is doing right now.
I mean, hey, I mean, shit, real talk. And it's just like Jukumbayev. Jukumbayev was doing perfectly fine on PBC until they fed his ass to Super Earl Matias, and then he went on the fucking Top Rank to fight bums. So,
Yep.
it is what it is. You can't hang with everyone. I think the oh shit, I think the zone probably has the most challenging matchmaking because they don't give a fuck over there. They'll put your ass in with goddamn. You'll be a damn prospect. You'll be a prospect out of nowhere. They'll put you in with some super experienced veteran and just test you out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But this is wild, man. But that even in that a sports interview or that show that I had with Michael Angeletti, he told me that PBC like they match you up with like all the top guys that are like coming up with them in like every division that they're campaigning at. Like these are guys that are coming from like all other platforms or other promotional stables, and these are like some like hungry ass people that are like really wanting to get their shot. So like to me, I think PBC is doing a very good job.
right. I mean, they match you up with who's there. They match you up with who's in the division and who's available, regardless of regardless of the particular skill level or anything like that. I mean, of course, they try to be mindful and try to get you people, but they can only master it whoever is there. So
Yeah,
yeah, I know it's a difficult set of circumstances for all the companies to find the right competition and da 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 da, but they only can match you with who's there. But with Top Rank, we noticed that like they start their people out with people who don't even box, like people who are like part-time truck drivers. Like literally, they'll have motherfuckers who
yeah, cab drivers.
yeah, who like works at McDonald's part-time while trying to box. Like, shit is, but it is it is what it is. I right now, so because like I said, I'm catching up on the fights. Right now, I just watched Emiliano Vargas. I'm gonna tell y'all this. So today in boxing, historically, the sons of great fighters have not measured up. They haven't. They haven't measured up at fucking all. Look at Eubank Jr. Look at Ben Jr. Look at fucking who are some other ones? I know there are some fucking who's fucking kids box. But and then it's funny because this kid is two and
Rockman.
oh yeah, Hakeem Rahman Jr. Not even close to pops. You know, so shit like that. This dude is he's cool. He looks flashy, but he's 2-0. He's 2-0. And I heard
Yeah, Emiliano. Yep.
yeah, I heard the motherfucker compare this dude to De La Hoya. I'm like, what?
Ah,
He hasn't like this is what the fuck I be talking about, bro. I'm like, he's 2-0. He's supposed to destroy opponents like this. And keep in mind, the knockout looked flashy. It looked really good, but his opponent was not asleep. His opponent got knocked down and immediately was cognizant and coherent. So it's like,
yeah,
oh,
he just got back up. He just got hit with like a really good flashy punch. I don't.
and it bothers me a lot because the same people that are hyping up Janabek, who hyped up Janabek before he got fucking completely exposed, are the same people that are now hyping up this kid. It's like
Oh
y'all
yeah,
never learn,
Emiliano
bro.
Vargas. He's gonna take everybody over, and I'm like, in what fucking world?
Yeah,
Like he's not.
somebody was like, oh, he's gonna have all the belts, and I'm like, let me tell you something. If Tank or Shakur decide they want to sweep all the belts at 135, this kid isn't winning shit.
I think Martin
This
will beat blood out of his mouth.
Yeah, there's
Like,
so much talent. There's so much talent at 135. It's like I don't even honestly I'm like I don't even know if this dude would beat Raymond Murataya, to be quite honest. If we can keep it real. I don't even know if he'd beat him. So he's talking about, oh, he's sweeping all the belts at lightweight, he's gonna be a champion. But I'm like, oh my god. Like y'all are gonna talk this shit for his first 20 fucking fights. He's not gonna fight anyone. And then his first step up, you're gonna be like, oh, we didn't know. He turns out he wasn't that good. Like, man, just shut up.
Yeah, what gets me mad about Emiliano Vargas's fan base is that I have like a really bad feeling inside my mind that they're gonna do the same thing what they did with Fernando, but you're gonna have all these like weird ass racist fans out of the out of what the Mexican boxing community that are gonna hype him up to the point where they don't really care about him. They just care about using him as like a front to say, oh well, this is our guy, so this is how we gotta be towards you guys. We gotta act like that we're superior over you when Mexican boxing isn't even doing anything good over any other racial group. But still, it's like that's just what I see out of like the trend when it comes with like a Mexican fighter that's being hyped up. Like they do like the same thing over and over and over, and then it's like once their fighter loses, it's like they just go into hush mode. They don't even talk. They act like absolute cowards and just bona fide like racists. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I'm not saying that he looks bad per se, but I will say that they need to calm the fuck down. Like they're already talking about comparing him to De La Hoya and all that. I'm like, oh my god, like, do you know
Yeah.
how much he would have to put in to equal De La Hoya?
Oh
Like,
yeah, he got to put in all that work.
like to even be mentioned in the same vein as De La Hoya, he would have to beat Frank Martin. He'd have to fight Shakur, Haney, and Tank because De La Hoya didn't fucking shy away from any smoke. He fought everybody. So it's like just stop doing that because you're gonna put a whole lot of weight on his shoulders and he's gonna fucking collapse. I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like he looked good beating this dude up. This is the second pro fight. Fantastic. He looked good. Great. Moving on. I like Raymond Murataya. I have for quite some time now. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yo, he's so good, dude. I fucking love Raymond.
Yeah, he does. He has all the attributes. He has an active jab. He's fast. He's strong. He throws a lot of punches. He has a decent gas tank, a lot of activity. It's gonna be interesting watching him finally go 12 rounds. It's gonna be
Yeah, he
interesting.
reminds me of like a Mike McCallum, but he just has like a really good athletic build, like very similar to Errol Spence in a way, but he's just so deadly with his style. Like he really knows how to move, very educated with his pressure, and he throws very very good educated punches. Like he doesn't walk into any stupid shots, and he has a good walk you down high guard type of defensive style, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, I like the fact that he jabs. He's a pressure fighter that actively jabs. That's one of the that's one of the things that separates Virgil Ortiz Jr. from your average pressure fighter because Virgil Ortiz Jr. is very active with the jab. I like whenever I see two people fighting and they're not very active with the jab, I start getting frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I see a fight and there's not enough jabbing, I start to get pissed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's definitely good. Definitely good to see. I like seeing it. I like watching him fight. He did what he was supposed to. He got this guy out of here. He knocked him out in was it the sixth round. This is an 8 rounder. Yeah, this guy was a tough opponent, but yeah, he got the job done. So I like watching Raymond Murataya fight, and honestly, he's dangerous. If he keeps going like this, I'm gonna have to fuck around and put an upset alert on him.
I think that, like, just by looking at the lightweight picture, um, I think he could beat some guys at lightweight, and I think he could definitely pick up like a title. Um, he'll definitely beat the shit out of like Emiliano, hands down. If
Honestly,
that fight ever happens.
honestly, we're really talking. Him and Keyshawn should be fighting soon. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't.
if we're really trying to see what Keyshawn's about, he should be fighting dudes like this.
Yeah, I think Raymond would stop him.
That's a lot. I'd pick Raymond to beat him, but I don't know if I don't know if he stop
Yeah, I mean, I only say that because he has heavy hands, and Keyshawn, he has like a suspect chin, so
him. Keyshawn's still a
I
suspect.
just don't. Yeah.
I haven't seen Keyshawn like dazed or wobbled. I don't remember this.
He got dazed by the Antonio Meza guy.
Oh,
If you watched like that fight with him.
okay. I'll have to go back and look. But all right. I mean, I don't think. I mean, because he was what? He was like what 3-0 right there, 2-0.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He fought Meza when he had, I think, like 3, 4 fights, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was like a decent. Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't call that having a suspect chin. I just call that taking a good shot. But as long as he didn't like, go down and look sort of horrible. Not to mention he was a new pro, so he hadn't been used to. He's not like used to getting hit, clean that often. So I
oh
wouldn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yep.
I wouldn't say that early. Like if he starts getting wobbled and rock now, then yeah, we'll say he has a shitty ass chin. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I think some other good fights for Raymond. I like to see him and Nakatila fight each other. I think that'll be like a barn burner.
He called Nakatila out. I don't know why. I mean, I guess that's I guess that's a good fight, but I guess maybe with Nakatila's power, but I see Muratai getting a good decision in unless Nakatila lands something lucky. But I was thinking more along the lines of Jermaine Ortiz, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I think I heard Jermaine is actually moving up to 140.
Really?
He
Man.
Yeah, because like I know, I think coming from Kano, he said like after that fight with Lomachenko, he's moving up to 140 because he can't make up like 135 easily. So if that does happen, then yeah, by all means, go for it. Because like I think it just like I personally think it scales better with him because he is like a big guy for lightweight, so I don't think it's really smart for him to try to sacrifice more for what he has to go through, at 135.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, that's fine. If that's yeah, if that's what he wants to do. I mean, shit. I guess he has been at 135 his whole career up until this point, right?
Yeah. He's been campaigning at 135 for quite a long time.
Okay.
So
Yeah, cool. He can definitely do some damage up there. Try to get a fight with Tiafimo's bitch ass. Beat him up.
yeah, beat up Tiafimo's bitch ass.
Yeah, no, that's no problem at all. I think he can go up there and fucking tap dance on Tiafimo's goofy ass. So yeah, no, that's definitely some good ass smoke.
Yeah. Some other good fights for Raymond. I like to see him and Edwin De Los Santos, Frank Martin, and there's that other good fighter at lightweight. His name is uh Abdullah Mason. Yeah, like I think him and Mason. That's gonna be a big fight. I
Ooh,
can't wait for that.
yes, I definitely agree with that. Abdullah's dangerous, man. I think Abdullah's better than Keyshawn. I personally think that Abdullah is who everyone thinks that Keyshawn is, and honestly, what you said Maratai should fight Abdullah Mason.
Yeah. For the future.
Ooh. Oh yeah, definitely for the future. Because I'm like, right now, Abdullah Mason might get his ass. To be quite honest, because I
Oh,
saw,
really? Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I think Abdullah Mason is more talented
Wow.
than
Like with
Maratai.
that little experience. Okay, I'm down for
Well,
it.
yeah, styles make fights, and I've
Yeah, I guess
seen,
so.
styles make fights. It's just like, for example, I think Keyshawn will beat up some veterans right now. Like I think Keyshawn probably beat up Burchell, for example.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
and,
definitely.
and yeah, and Murtaya barely has any experience, and he's calling out Nakatila, and I think he'll beat his ass. So it's about styles making fights,
Yeah,
and it's about timing. I've seen how Mason handles pressure, and I'm not saying it'd be an easy fight. I'm not saying it'd be a fight where nobody would get hurt. I'm saying I think he'd be able to pull it off.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
And
that's the,
the good thing that I like out of Mason is like he doesn't really talk that much. He just lets his skills do the talking. And I will say, even in his last fight, I thought he should have deserved like a knockdown for that one Mexican kid that he fought. Um, not too long ago, but but the way how he got back up from that knockdown and he did his thing, he definitely showed like massive improvements, as the fight goes on, and he's not just looking for the knockout. I think but the reason why maybe he wants to try to stop somebody is just like primarily just due to him wanting to just get the guy out of there because it's like you're not getting paid for overtime. So I mean, the boxers were getting paid for for overtime. You still want to let the guy up and out of there because it's like why keep that guy surviving when they have like a good chance to stop you. So I think either way, he has a great style. He has great discipline. His father and his brothers are very intelligent. When they talk about boxing, so I think he has a great team, and everything that he's done so far, like he's just getting better. And I think, sooner than later, he's going to be doing, the same thing in multiple divisions. And, who knows, I think he could very well do the same thing at larger weight classes. But that's all to be determined. I think you should just focus on all the smoke at 135, and he's going to be like a really really big threat one day.
I'm talking about Murtaya Mason.
From both of them, same same thing for just Mason exclusively, but I think Raymond Murtaugh is going to become a big threat at 35 too.
Yeah, because right now I'm actively watching him versus Contreras, and don't get me wrong, he's whooping Contreras' ass clean. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
But he's in
Contreras.
here taking a lot. But he's in here taking a lot of shots from Contreras, and Contreras isn't even the best slugger. So that's why I'm thinking that someone like Abdullah Mason, someone who's a sharpshooter, someone who's more defensively responsible, that's longer and taller. That's why I think someone like that might get over on him. That's all.
Yeah, most definitely. I think he just needs to stop like walking into a punch that makes him think he's not going to get hurt by any surprise punches. Like just work on your defense immensely, and then everything else he's good at. He just needs to get the defense put together. But I think Raymond's a great talent. It's just like, the problem that I have with some Robert Garcia fighters is that they have this weird mantra of believing in offense first, but then it's like defense. Some of them are very very good with their defense, in which I think like when Robert Garcia when he goes out recruiting fighters, he has some guys that are just naturally talented at defense, but when it comes to offense, they're just not wanting to let their hands go enough. But most of his fighters are offensive trigger happy, so I think the biggest flaw out of a Robert Garcia fighter is that they just need to be they just need to be defensively responsible because we've seen it with plenty of their fighters in the past, and I think that's like the biggest flaw with Raymond. He just has to get that defense up because 135 is going to get a lot more dangerous once he gets inside with like all the big punchers in the division that know how to box defensively, technically sound, and I think sooner than later, like as he fixes on those flaws, I think he'll be fine. You know, I don't see him getting wasted, by that many guys.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. I think yeah, definitely, definitely agree. And yeah, I mean that's Robert Garcia's training method really doesn't accommodate a lot for defense. It's to be like your offense is your defense type shit, kind of like Jose Benavidez Senior. And, it is what it is. He'll have to make some adjustments. He'll have to work on head movement, catching, parrying, shit like that. But yeah, no, he's definitely gonna be good. So yeah, the Javier Martinez fight. I know it went the distance. I vaguely remember it, to be quite honest. I was kind of dozing off on that one. I mean, that one has yet to pop up on my screen. But based on the highlights I saw, he looked good. I mean, the dude he was fighting was 7-4, so he was kind of supposed to get in there and do that. It was a super middleweight fight. And Javier Martinez doesn't really have a lot of punching power for middleweight. He's 7. He's like 8-0 with like 2 knockouts. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but I don't I don't see anything particularly special from Javier Martinez, but it's kind of like the rest of top ranked middleweights right now. They're all marginal, like Troy Isley and those dudes. Like I don't see anything particularly special from Troy Isley. I don't see anything special from Janabek, and I don't see anything special from Javier. So,
yeah. It's just I don't get it. Like I think it's just really evident to show that they're just funneling easy competition, but then once it's just you know I don't know, like once it gets harder, then they're not touching like a title anytime soon because it's just like they're so comfortable fighting like the weaker opposition, and while all their tougher contemporaries are getting better fighting each other, um, they're just out here thinking like, oh well, I don't need to test myself as I'm young in my career, and it's like that's not true. It's like you have to keep yourself active in the mix if you want to keep yourself relevant and the notoriety in your division at least.
yeah, I mean, I just put the fight up on my screen right now to watch it and talk about it. And yeah, I mean, he's a southpaw. Doesn't hit particularly hard. I don't see anything, you know, as far as ring IQ, footwork, hand speed, foot speed, punch selection, punch variety. I don't see anything that particularly stands out about him. I mean, that's not to say he'll be bad, but that's to say he's one of those fighters to where he'll only beat you if you don't take him seriously. If you don't take him seriously as an opponent and you just come in there thinking you're gonna watch him, he's the fighter that can have luck. But if you take him seriously, you do exactly what you're supposed to. You keep your defense tight, you keep your jab on him, mix him up on the inside. There's not a whole lot he can really do. So, like, yeah, honestly, this is the type of dude that fucking Janibek can fucking beat. And then keep in mind, I don't think anything of fucking Janibek. So, you know,
Yeah, I don't see Javier really beating any of like the top middleweights. Like I mean, like I think like some fighters he could probably be like he might have a good chance of beating like Felix Cash, or he could be he could definitely beat Denzel Bentley.
damn, that's disrespectful because Felix Cash knocked Denzel Bentley out in 3 rounds, and Janibek just went 12 with him. Damn, you said he could just run over Felix Cash? That's fucked up.
I'm just saying, it's like like the middleweight division is turning into like a European division. It's turning into like a bunch of weak ass fighters that don't even want to fight each other. But I mean,
The only British dudes that I see that I personally think that can actually be competitive in the United States are, aside from Fury, of course, are probably Felix Cash and Joe Cordina. I see those two being able to be competitive in the U.S. But everyone else probably gets washed.
yeah, I mean Austin Williams maybe, but then once Charlo gets in there, like I think it's game over. 160 is like his division.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as he stays there, yeah, I don't think Austin would beat Charlo right now. I don't think he would. I think Charlo would knock Ammo the fuck out of here. But again, we have to we
Just
have
blow.
well, especially what I saw his last fight. I was like, oh god, I don't know what the fuck this was. He regressed talent wise. Like I don't know what was going on, but he just like he took a step backwards. I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, Austin Williams is like definitely not looking like he's in like the right mental state of mind. But it's going to be interesting to see who he fights next, because if he is going to step it up, then he needs to perform way better than that. Because I've
He should,
seen way better.
he should be fighting Eubank, but Eubank doesn't want to fight anybody. Eubank wants to fight either welterweights or fucking leftovers. He wants to fight fucking nobody. So that would have been a good next fight, but he's apparently now he's fighting Liam Smith. So it's like, I was like, all right, bro.
I don't know why he can't get the fight with Jaime Munguia.
Because they don't want Munguia to fight anybody. They don't want Munguia to fight anyone that looks dangerous, that looks solid. They want like I don't even know where the fuck they're finding Munguia's opponents at this point. These are his goddamn cousins that he's fighting. I don't know these dudes. Like I didn't know who the fuck Demetrius Ballard is. I didn't know who this guy was. So I'm just like I don't know. They're just
Yeah,
picking.
his opponent is not that good.
I have no idea who he's fighting. Coria, is that his name?
Yeah, he's some Argentinian dude. Hold on. Uh, yeah, his name is what's his name? What's his name? Yeah, Gonzalo Gaston Coria. He's 21-5. He has 8 knockouts, and he's been stopped once out of his 5 losses.
Yeah, look at this. Like this is just pure trash. I mean, it's good that they're keeping Munguia paid and active, but it's like, who are these people?
Oh, terrible, man. Yeah, Munguia, he's trash.
Yeah. But anyways, the main fight on the card that actually took place was fucking Janabek, and like I said, Janabek was never anything special. He had the same resume as fucking what's his name, Murata, and
Yeah.
people have no to be some sort of big. Nope, went in there against a random unheralded European level fighter and got exposed. Got exposed pretty bad. Went 12. Dude actually started to win some rounds. Looked very, very regular. Like, he got exposed so bad that the ESPN commentators were cooking themselves. They were like, you know what? Maybe we hand out some kind of boogeyman too loosely in the sport of boxing. I'm like, hell yeah, y'all do. One person doesn't fight him when y'all call him a boogeyman. Oh my god, Janet Beckman. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker is not good. And he hasn't fought anybody to justify him being some sort of threat. Like, who is this? So, I mean, it doesn't look good that Andre does him because I thought Andre would have beat his ass. And, we just got to hope there's bigger and better things for Andre. But, no, Janabek is not special. Janabek is a more limited version of Lomachenko. If you press him on the back foot, you apply body pressure, keep that jab in his face, you'll beat him. He's not special. He's Lomachenko with slower hands and left foot. As long as he can split the straight left, he's not going to do
Yeah, that's just very weird, but yeah, it's just I just find that so weird how Janabek really thinks nobody can mess with him. Yeah, he fights like shit.
Like I said, fucking Denzel Bentley is some dude. Denzel Bentley is some dude that Felix Cash knocked out in 3 rounds, and people barely know who Felix Cash even is. So the fact that Janabek went in here, struggled, and looked like shit, that tells me everything I need to know. Uh, fucking hopefully Charlo can come back, get his shit together, and unify with Janabek. That's an easy pickup.
Yeah. How do you think about the co-main event with Sinisa Estrada?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch a lot of her fights. Um, her internet persona is really annoying. But no, I mean she looked good. She deserved the W. She got the W. You know, she did what she knows best. She throws a lot of punches. Uh, yeah, she looked like her usual self and got the job done.
Yeah, I thought she fought like a little bit, too, you know, um, she fought like a little bit too, how should I say, like too cautious in there, like not like not trying to fight, how should I say, calm and relax. And she looked like she had like a lot of pressure on her, so I didn't think her performance was all there, but she got the job done. It's just that as far as like her opponent, I actually thought, like she made a great like account of herself. I think if she had more power, she definitely would have hurt Sinisa in those exchanges. But I think either way, it was a lovely fight. I wish it was a 3 minute fight because definitely there would have been knockdowns, occurred. But I just don't know like why Sinisa is like really campaigning at this weight class because I don't ever really think she's really staying at minimum weight for the sake of just wanting to be undisputed. I think it's mainly because she's in the same boat with like any other female fighter that doesn't want to fight tougher opposition. They end up like sticking at like a weight class that they think they could just sit around and just be okay with it. But I think she scales a lot better if she just moves up in higher weight classes because like anybody at minimum weight heading into like super flyweight, like that's really like nobody there except for like a couple people. Yeah, but I would like to see her and Zarina McCoy fight each other. That'd be a very good fight for the future. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's it for the card. Did we get everybody? No. Can you hear me? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think that's it for the card. So I think that's everybody that we've covered for the show. But yeah, salute to you, watcher. Salute to you, Majestic Hero. Majestic said, "What do y'all think about Canelo fighting Bivol again?" Um, I I don't think it's necessary. I think Bivol and Canelo is not needed anymore. But at the stakes of this rematch wanting to be built up again, I don't think Canelo is really gonna want to fight Bivol because Bivol's coming off of two destructive wins. So I mean, if he beats you again on Cinco de Mayo weekend or the month of Cinco de Mayo, I just think that's just a bad look on Canelo because it's like you just basically come back to fight a 40-plus-year-old Triple G, and then you get beat up by Bivol again. Like I don't think Canelo's making himself look any better. Um, he's not looking better. He looks like he's regressing, and I think Canelo, this will be his downfall. I think Bivol will be the guy if he beats him just as bad as he did towards him in the first fight, if not worse. I think Bivol could very well stop him if he has the ability to. But yeah, Canelo will definitely retire if Bivol definitely beats him pretty bad. So, but I don't think Canelo has any gas left in the tank to really mess with a guy like Bivol. I think Bivol, he's hot right now. Like if he beats Canelo and then he just does the same thing to Better Beer, game over, man. Bivol, he's the undisputed king. But yeah, Dia, are you still there? Or oh, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna text him. Yeah, see what happens. Let's see. Um, all right. But yeah, I think that's about it. Um, I'm gonna get up out of here. So yeah, if you're still there, appreciate you for coming through, and yeah, hopefully we'll do this again and chop it up more. There's definitely gonna be a lot more big fights coming. Don't forget, we got Jermaine Franklin and Dillian White. That's on the 26th. We got Regis Prograis and Jose Zapata.
Right.
On who else do we got? We got
Isn't Tio fighting Pedraza?
yeah, Tio versus Pedraza, December 10th. And then, well, obviously, dumbass, like, Tyson Fury fighting, but
Yeah.
nobody doesn't care about
What
that.
you said about Canelo was very accurate. I was looking at something, but yeah, no, what you said about Canelo was very accurate. He doesn't want none of that, and I don't want to see it. Frankly, I don't want to see Canelo fight Bivol again. I don't want to see Canelo. The only person I want to see Canelo fight at 175 is Callum Smith. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I don't think Alan Smith will make any adjustments to beat him. So
No, I disagree. That's all I want to see it because Callum Smith got an American coach in Buddy McGirt, and he's made a lot of adjustments. He's become a knockout king. I mean, he's become a knockout machine at 175. That's mainly why I want to see that.
hey, I mean, if he knocks out Canelo, I'll be laughing my ass off so bad. Oh man. Imagine if Canelo gets stopped by Caleb Smith at 175.
I mean, I don't think he'll do all that, but it's just a good fight. It'll be a situation where he's not on 4 weeks' notice. He's not weight drained. It'll be a situation where he's actually coming there to win. He's coming there to punch and win. So, it'll be more interesting than the 168 fight.
Yeah, because if you lose to Bivol and he stops you or he just beats you up real bad, doesn't that mean that you should just hang it up at that point?
No, I mean, the guy's coming up from 140. It means he got beat the fuck up by a dude that was bigger than him. That's normal. I mean, he was talking about calling out Usyk for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know what he's gonna do. Like, because it's like you got really like all your mandatories is most likely gonna get called up at 168, and once that's closing in on you, you can't do anything but just vacate.
Well, Canelo, he doesn't have to fight mandatories. He'll just pay his way out of that or whatever. So,
Yeah. Canelo just needs to be out of boxing. I just I don't want to see him no more. I just want to see the hype train gone and just like get him out of here, man.
yeah, I agree. I don't want him in boxing anymore. He's politically ruined a lot of it. So, I prefer he retire as well.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But I mean, we pretty much went over all the fights. I mean, to be honest, like the Decare and Jonas card, I'm not gonna lie, that card, like their fight was good, but that card was
That
bad.
car was beyond trash.
It was really, really boring. I'm sorry. Like it was just a shitty card. It had a bunch of British fighters that aren't gonna do anything at the world level, like dudes like Brian Ray and Dalton Smith and Benjamin and
Dalton Smith.
all these motherfuckers. Like these dudes are never gonna amount to shit. Like they're never gonna amount to shit. Like I don't know, Boxer, they are like the headquarters of boxers that nobody gives a shit about. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I was never high on Natasha Jonas, but she's never fought outside of the UK, and she's basically just been hand leveled opponents that no one's heard of until she got knocked out by Vivian Opanoff, and then the Katie Taylor fight. I thought she won that fight, and same thing with Terry Harper. I thought she should have won that fight. And after that, like the rest of the better wins is like beating the champions or former world champions. So Dakir, Big Girl, and Namus. So I mean, she's definitely like a legacy, completed fighter. But I was never sold on any of what the British female or male fighters. And the problem with them is that they don't want to get beat up when they cross over to the other side of the pond. So I think once they face like American level opposition or just tougher opposition in general, when they leave their country, like that just shows how much of like a lesser fighter they are.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just they don't. Yeah, it's just they don't have the exposure. They don't have the exposure to diverse fighting styles, which is why whenever they step up, they usually get smoked. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, we pretty much covered everything. But that's all I got on that.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I'll chat with you soon, and like I can't wait for Zepeda versus Prograis. I'm definitely gonna be hyping that fight up.
Is that this
I'm
weekend or is that
excited.
next week?
Next weekend. Next weekend.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, but for sure, should be good. And honestly, Progress, all the shit he be talking, he better not to fade out. He been talking all this big shit about how he's a boogeyman and people are avoiding him, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Everybody's like avoiding me.
Yeah, I'm like,
I used to be the king at 140.
he was never the king at 140, but I thought he beat Josh Taylor ass. But no,
Yeah.
if he's really this dude, he better get in there and knock Zepeda smooth the fuck out of here. He better knock him out of here because if Regis lose to fucking Zepeda, I don't ever want to hear from him again.
Yeah. But I think he's only saying that because he screwed himself over by not, continuing with PBC, and then he thought like, Pro Bellum was gonna do something for him, and I'm like, dude, like you're so stupid, man.
Yeah, I don't know why he went over to Probellum when they had no fighters at 140. Like, I mean, if you want to sign with MTK, that's one thing because Josh Taylor is at MTK, but like Probellum didn't have any fucking fighters at 140. So I'm just like, all right, bro. I mean, you would have done better signing with Top Rank, but whatever. Like I said, he's Mr. Boogeyman. He better get rid of Zepeda. He better get rid of Zepeda or at least look dominant in the decision. Because if we get in there and fucking struggles or loses, I don't ever want to hear from Regis Prograis again.
Yeah, like I hope he knocks out Zepeda because I know Zepeda is like defensively irresponsible than him.
Yeah,
So
Zepeda's not good. Zepeda's not good. He was in there. He was in there, damn near getting destroyed by Baranchik until he knocked him out. Zepeda's not good. He's not.
yeah.
He's not good.
Plus, Regis is way more defensively responsible than Zepeda, so he should be able to see those shots coming.
Yeah, as long as Regis isn't stupid and get counted, I fully expect Regis Prograis to knock Zepeda out of there within 10. Honestly, if we're keeping it real, within 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 rounds, but I mean 9 rounds is understandable because Zepeda he's hard to knock out.
Yeah, he's got a decent chin. I mean, you can drop him for sure, but as long as Regis makes sure to go to the body and slow his feet down, yeah, he should be able to demolish him. Because Regis has never looked like Zepeda has. Zepeda was fighting Baranchik. He got dropped like fucking 5 times. Like, nah, Zepeda's not
Yeah. Oh boy, I can't wait for the undercard. The undercard is gonna look lit too. That's what I heard.
for Regis versus Zepeda.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking at the event card. Yeah, they got Charles Conwell on the card. He's going up against Juan Carlos Abreu.
Ooh, that's a good.
That's gonna be a tough ass fight, maybe.
I don't think it's gonna be tough. I just think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, he's gonna knock him out. He's gonna knock Carlos Abreu out.
Yeah, he's gonna beat the shit out of him, but it's still gonna be a good fight. 'Cause that dude's tough.
Yeah, you got that Jalalov guy against Curtis Harper.
Hey,
That's gonna be insane.
I call his ass Jalopy, fucking Jawlawad or something. Like fucking kind of stupid ass made up name is that?
Yeah. And then like also you got Fernando Vargas Jr. going up against Alejandro Martinez.
Who? Who, Junior?
Fernando Vargas Jr. going up against Alejandro Martinez.
Oh, that's another Vargas kid, right? Son of Fernando Vargas, right?
Yeah, he's one of the three brothers.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. But I think that's about it, and I'll chop it up with you later.
All right, cool. Y'all all like and subscribe, and thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir. I'll see you later.
All right, later.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming through. And shout out to Diaz. Thank you for coming by. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Salute to the mighty LDBC. TWT, I am out.